I want to cover a little bit of background information. So before we can talk about measuring intelligence, what is intelligence? Intelligence can very briefly, very simply be summarized as the ability to reason and understand. It's typically measured with the IQ test. Many of us have probably taken one, if not several, throughout our lives, and this has been the gold standard for measuring IQ. And this is important because especially in our Western culture, we place a lot of importance on these IQ tests, and they can be very relevant in academics and in our job performance. This is problematic though, because as we have learned from Howard Gardner and through research after him, there are many different types of intelligence, and the IQ test only tests one. It tends to favor verbal or written skills, which comprises only one, sometimes two, depending on which chart you look at, levels of intelligence. And there are up to 12, sometimes 9 types. IQ tests also tend to be advantageous towards those higher up in the social economic status, which kind of plays into more the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's harder for those in lower statuses to score well on these IQ tests, which then makes it harder for them to get placed in better academic programs. So next I want to look at a research article that a group of people are looking at new ways to test intelligence that will incorporate some of these various levels of intelligence. There's also, as well as different types, there are also varying levels. Some people might be very intelligent in one area and and maybe struggle in others. Some might take them a little bit longer than the 10 minutes allotted or the 30 minutes allotted for an IQ test. And so these other tests that we're looking at, or that this research group has looked at, takes into account those different time restrictions and different abilities. These tests focus more on the practical or application of intelligence rather than just the written or the visual testing of it. And we have found that human beings, when they're put in an enrichment environment or compared to their peers, do tend to, we are able to see other levels of intelligence that they may have scored very, very low on a standard IQ test. So I'm going to pass it on to Summer, and she'll talk a little bit more about IQ test.
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute myself. So we're actually connecting this to our coursework, what we've been learning in class. This was talking about the IQ test, about how they calculated it by the mental age divided by the chronological age, and then you times that by 100. This IQ test helps to figure out, like, not want to call them dumb, but like how smart they are. This can help score, give us the idea of the average of their given age and like how intelligent they are. This can correlate with like the social economic statuses, like your job performance and your income. The higher more of your social economic status is better chance of having a good job performance and having a good work ethic and being hired more and getting the bigger income. But if it's lower in the IQ level, they're most likely not there, or the mental age just not there and could have some type of deformity or just a mental thing.
So the possible future steps for this research, it can begin to test bigger sample sizes with more variables, and it can also test for specific intelligent types outside of the standard IQ evaluations. And it would also look at how different demographics and generations respond to these tests in comparison with the standard IQ test.
And here's our